article about which is the title is called "Glitch in the Brain." What's DeJavu? So I'm gonna read this. A glitch in the brain. What's DeJavu? Have you ever felt like you've seen or done something before, even though you know that can be true? Perhaps you're talking with a friend or visiting a new cafe when you suddenly have an overwhelming feeling you've experienced this moment already, even though you know that's impossible. This is called deja vu, which means already seen in French. It's a common phenomenon, and almost all people will experience it at least once in their lives. But what causes us to experience deja vu? In short, no one really knows. Deja vu comes and goes quickly and unpredictably, so it's difficult for scientists to study why it happens. Some people even believe it's your brain recalling experiences from a past life. But most theories agree that it has something to do with the brain's temporal lobe, the part of your brain that deals with memory. Akira O'Connor, a researcher from Scotland University of St Andrews, proposes that deja vu happens when the temporal lobe sends a signal to the brain's frontal lobe, the part of your brain that uses logic and makes decisions, telling it that you've experiencing something you've experienced before. Your frontal lobe then sorts through your memories to see if this is the case or if there is some sort of memory error. And if it's an error, that means deja vu has occurred. Deja vu is more likely to happen to people who have a high level of education or who travel often, although researchers aren't exactly sure why this is the case. You will also notice it a lot more when you are younger because as you get older, your brain is less able to tell that these false memories are actually errors. You are also more likely to experience it when you are stressed or tired. For the most part, deja vu is harmless and it happens to almost everyone. So if you have ever have this that strange feeling, you are not alone. So if you ever have that strange feeling, you are not alone. So, mm, oh, that's deja vu. Okay, I got it. So, what did you know about deja before reading this article? So, before reading this article, I know deja vu. I know the definition of deja vu. The definition is you have seen this. You have it. You thought you have experienced this before. You have seen it. So yeah, I know the definition. I just know the definition, and also I have experienced the deja vu before. Yeah, sometimes, yeah, I have experienced the deja vu sometimes before. Yeah, and do you often experience this deja vu? If so, how do you usually react to it? I think I have experienced deja vu twice in a half year. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. How do you I usually react to this that I say, oh, I might have seen this. I know this scene. Something like that. Yeah, talk, I say it aloud. Yeah. Would you say that you have a good memory? I think in terms of studying, I don't have good memory, but there are some parts that I can easily remember. Something like how people hold their pens, like when writing. Yeah, people have pens, right? Pencils or pen, right? And I can remember how people have their pens, and I know that I remember the things my classmate in my junior and my elementary school from my elementary school student. Not all not all students, but yeah, I remember some students. The type how they hold their pens, the way the way they hold their pens. So yeah, I know that. I think so. In terms of the things I'm good remember. Yeah. Do you tend to typically remember visual, spoken, or written information better? I don't think I'm typically remember visual or speaking or written information. Uh, I think I'm uh, I'm good at remembering visual things, but aside from visual things, I'm not good at remembering spoken or written information. I think that it's just visual thing is. I think it's easy to imagine image. So that's just how brain works. Uh, yeah, I think that's why. I think more written or spoken things is more or less less stimulation than visual things. So I think how brain works. It's just how brain works. Have you ever discovered that you misremembered something? Have you ever discovered that? Yeah. I know that. So when I was an junior high school student, there was a test of remembering uh, the prefectures. 40 there uh, prefectures, all prefectures in Japan. Yeah, there are 47 prefectures in Japan, and I have to remember those. Yeah, and there was a test for that, and there is a blank of 47 prefectures, and I have to fill the words into the box, into the blank box. And at the time, I thought I was correct all, but yeah, I had made a few mistakes, and yeah, I misunderstood, misremembered, uh, and I made an error. Yeah, so okay, and then have you heard of any other strange psychological phenomenon? Have you heard of any other strange psychological phenomenon? Have you ever heard of any other strange psychological heard of any other psychological phenomenon? Strange psychological. Mm, no. I people I think the people who are not uh, good at something, that means the people who are poor at something like studying, they tend to these people who are poor at something tended to consider themselves as good at good at something. So they misunderstood. They mis uh, mis reputate themselves. Why? Okay. Cruiser cruiser effect. I don't know how it is called, but yeah, yeah, I don't know. I forgot how it is called. Why do you think so much about the brain is still not understood? Because mm, because of the scientific research has not done yet, or the technology has not improved yet, and also that means not so much money has not into put into the invested to the brain research, the research about brain. So yeah, that's why I think it's just the not not a bunch of not that much of um, money has into the brain research. What do you find fascinating about the human brain? I think the most fascinating thing about human brain is that we can think. I think I don't know other animals can think and do have I don't know other animals have wait for a second. I'm gonna search the word I'm gonna to say. Uh, I don't know whether other animals have reason, but yeah, we human beings have reason, so rational. Yeah, so well, and to do something rationally, I think it's an interesting part in. I think it's an interesting part of the brain. Yeah, other animals react uh, intuitionally, but we can do that. We cannot. We can do the mm, humans can do the opposite of instinct. Yeah, yeah, humans can use reason to do the opposite of instinct. So that's fascinating things about the human brain. Do you know anyone who has studied psychology? Do you think you've enjoyed? Yeah, I know a person who is a YouTuber called Daigo, studied psychology when he was a university student, and when he studied psychology, and he called himself as a um, mentalist, and he bend spoon or fork uh, as if he uses a magic words. Yeah, these things, and yeah, not only that, yeah, as I said, he's a YouTuber, and yeah, he introduces some interesting scientific research of, you know, which is related to psychology, um, and introduced that in a YouTube video, and like how to make an habit, how to make an how to stop bad habit and build a new habit or some, yeah, these things. I think it's fascinating because it's interesting, many researchers have done about human beings, and we can understand how people react. So that means uh, we know how to make our lives better. So yeah, do you think I enjoyed? Yeah, also I'm enjoying. Yeah. Sitting on your shoulders is the most complicated object in the universe, in the known universe. What are your thoughts? Sitting on your shoulders is the most complicated object in the known universe. I don't know what's the meaning. What's this sentence's meaning? Sentence meaning. I don't know what's the meaning of this sentence. I cannot understand this. I think that means the thing which is very close to us is actually the most complicated object in the known universe. I don't know. I don't know because yeah, I think I agree with this because uh yeah, when I travel, I feel like I want to go to the place which is very far from our house, but there are also many places that we don't know nothing, even if it is very close to our house. So that means even though it is very close to our house, there are many unknown places that is also fit to this case, fit to this, this. I think this is fit to this statement. Yeah. So I agree with this statement. So yeah, thank you very much for listening.